Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. My name is Ron Nahaney. My mom and dad were the late Eileen Nahaney and Richard Nahaney. Some of you might know him as Goonie. And my grandparents are Arnold and Vi. I've been working for housing as the housing manager the last 2.5 years. I was there for a temp for about 1.5 years. I own my own a construction company for 14 years before that. I built the Little One School, the cultural center, and numerous houses. And my focus will be on housing, education, and our youth, because I see a great core of our youth.
Thank you very much. So your question tonight, coming down through the housing category, is for you is how will you help encourage youth involvement for the future of their land? I'll read it again for you. How will you help and encourage youth involvement for the future of their land? I apologize to each and every one of you. The questions are being tossed into the boxes at random, and we're not being able to filter them out. So some may come up from different categories from there. Yeah, so this is a housing question for you. Housing has been identified as a priority. How will you find funds to build houses?
I think our only choice is mortgage housing, and I know there's so many people living off reserve that are paying, $1,500, $2,000 per month. I actually bought my house off reserve because I could not get a loan for the rest of the money that I needed to build on reserve. But I see a lot of young family out there with good solid jobs and stuff now, so I think we need to move forward with that.
Thank you, Derek. As we're getting down to near the end, my dear friends and family, again, I'd just like to acknowledge each and every one of you and your time and your patience this evening for coming here. So the next number is 0876 635.
Osweiler. Woo, I got the microphone. I wanted to thank you all for being here tonight. It's really important for our people to be here and be part of the solution, so I thank you for that. I hold my hand up to our elders that are here, as well as our youth and our mun-mun. I brought my own little baby with me tonight. I wanted to recognize who my family is. My mother's Diane Lewis. My grandfather was the late Norman Lewis. And my grandma was Lena Corkle. So I want to thank my family that is also here tonight, which is almost all of you. I wanted to talk a little bit about my platform, but on my pamphlet I didn't mention my education. These are on the little handbook that you guys all have. But I'm got a degree in tourism business management, as well as I majored in water travel. Okay, and then also I got my teaching degree just last June, so thank you for that. That's my question.
Thank you very much. So, your question is coming down through sports and culture. How will you support sports for our youth?
Well, that's a really great question. Woo! I just started a soccer association about 6 years ago, and I've been actively a soccer coach for over 10 years. But before that, even I've always been active in our sports, and I've always wanted to encourage my friends, my peers, that sports in general is a sense of cleansing, it's a sense of healing, it's a sense of identity, being a part of something. Whether it's sports related on a team or individual hiking in our backcountry out on our land. It's a way of purification and making you healthy. And so I always encourage our youth to be active in sports in any way, especially against video games and stuff like that. I don't give my children a choice. I say, you want to play those video games? You need to go outside for an hour. I don't give my kids that choice to just play video games. But you have to lead by example as well. You know, I'm not just going to go and tell you to go do those things. I'm going to do them first and show you how to do those things. And that's something I always encourage our children in our communities. Always being a part of being active in our community. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so our next number is 0876 626.
So Hosea Meoptnoya Hoita and Suesius Bakwas Alice Gus. Neil Harry, my grandparents are Joe Baker, and on my other side is Austin Harry and Harriet Harry. I believe that education should drive the budget and not the budget drive education. I believe that education has to be in the front burner, not the back burner. And I am willing to listen to your voice and bring it to the table. I'd like to thank the elders for being here because they are the encyclopedias and dictionaries of our community. I believe in the teachings of our elders and our ancestors, and I want to apply it to our children and our community. I want to believe and understand the past, know the present, and plan for the future. I want to work on developing a culture department. I know education is doing an awesome job, but we need a culture department to focus on there, so where our kids can work on education with their academics so they can continue on in the white Maine society.
Thank you very much. So, your question is coming down to education. And your question is this evening, how can we help our post-secondary students?
Helping our post-secondary students is working right from the day that they are born, because when the children are there, they know when they're in your tummy. You do a lot of singing and drumming, and you do a lot of reading, because our children got to read to learn. And when they know, then they would learn to read. And then you focus them on the transition between grade 7 to grade 8, and then from high school up to post-secondary. And then, so what you do is bring them to career fairs, bring the resource out there into your community. At the same time, they got to leave the community and go out there. Make them feel good about themselves through language and culture so they can stand tall. Teachings of the cedar tree. We have our roots, but at the same time we're standing tall. Teachings of the grizzly bear. The protection. We want to protect our children. And how are we going to protect them? Is through our one mind, our one body, and our one spirit, and we're all going to work together as one. Because we are all here working for the children that are yet unborn. We have a baby here that's, 2 months? And those are our future leaders. We need to nourish the minds of our children because they are going to be our leaders. We need to help them blossom through socially, physically, emotionally, mentally, culturally, and spiritually. Am I done? I want to thank the volunteers for all their hard work.
Thank you very much. Awesome. So our next number is 0876 658 658.
Louis Calvin Gus Jr. and I'm working in trades for the past 9-10 years. Had a bunch of people working with me off and on in different aspects of sports, work. I worked at Staples for 5 years. And a bunch of my friends and family working with me. And involved in sports, running a soccer team for 12 years for tournaments, league for 6 years, active in the community with, just played basketball here this past weekend. It was pretty good. Yeah, it's very, very happy to be here in front of everybody and see, put a face to my name for everybody who doesn't know who I am. And good luck to everybody else that's running too.
Thank you very much, Calvin. Your question is going to be coming down through education category. And your question this evening for you is, if you are elected, what are your goals to partnership with accredited schools to further our members' education?
For one thing, we could start a trade school. I know a bunch of people from our nation that are in trades, me including one of them. I want to do sprinklers at my Red Seal for that. I know people in plumbing from Burrard's, Curtis Thomas has his Red Seal, and carpenters. We start our own trade school for one thing, and then start after that. That's one main thing to start is trade, because high rises are coming up all over the Lower Mainland. There's the most cranes in the world are here in BC right now, and I've built 10 or 12 high rises already in the past 6 years. So I mean, we got to start building them here. Have a path for housing, for education for our students, so they don't have to worry about having anywhere to stay. They have somewhere to stay. I built a community at First Nations on Nanaimo. It was a housing for Native students over town. We need that here too for our people. And they wouldn't have to worry about having to go anywhere home. They already have a home, somewhere to stay for their school. Not have to worry about making money because they have a house over their head, food on the table. Yeah, this was on for education. It's nonstop. I'm still learning. I still coach for soccer. I was coaching for kids teams. I'm still running my men's team on the summer. And still across, so there's still lots of teachings and learnings as I'm going, and learning never stops. So education is fundamental for everything and anything.